Hello and welcome to my Thursday newsletter, and it's an interesting time we live in. I'm under house arrest. I don't know about you, but well, we can get out, we can take the dog for a walk, but we have to get back. And if we, if you like, extend our walk into a park and try to have some fun or whatever, the police have got the rights now to just arrest us or fine us. So anyway, I'm at my computer listening and reading everything, and so I can make some sense of the crazy situation and then convey it to you all to take some information away from it. And here's the challenge I have, because whatever you hear in the media, the government websites, official figures from bean counters who usually tell the truth, literally contradicting what you're hearing in the media. And I quite like bean counters because they don't care about trying to fiddle the figures. They try to get them as accurate as possible. So it's a recorded fact. January to March at this time of the year is when the number of deaths from all causes spike. And this spike happens every year starting in December till April, and when the figures start to drop quite a lot. That's partly because it's after Christmas and people are drinking too much, maybe smoking too much, maybe eating too much sugar, because sugar is a poison that kills people. But in the UK, for the first time, the official figures recorded this year contain data for COVID-19, because of course it's new, it didn't exist last year. Well, they say it didn't. They show good news though, the figures, because last year, in 2019, there was 146,000 total deaths in these 3 months. But this year, in the same period, there are only 138,000, quite a big drop. And this includes the deaths with COVID-19, where they were involved. Interesting. So we're being told that we've got this massive death epidemic on our hands, yet deaths are dropping. Interesting. So this is taken from the UK government website. A total of 138,000 deaths were registered in England and Wales between the 28th of December 2019 and the 20th of March 2020, year to date. Of these, 108 involved COVID-19. But if they added an extra few days onto this, up to the 26th of March, and the number involved was actually 210 altogether. So, but they use the word involved. They don't say people died from COVID-19 or of 19. They died with COVID-19. And the reason they're saying that is because that's the truth. People don't die from COVID-19. They die because they've got a condition which is putting them at death's door, and the COVID-19 takes them over the edge. Even though sometimes people look and sound as though they're really healthy, the proof is they're not, because as soon as they get COVID-19 on their lungs, it's the final straw that's breaking the camel's back. But, you know, it's interesting that the government bean counters will not say they died from, they only say they died with COVID-19 involved in their death. Now, in the USA, deaths, I can't find up-to-date figures for the same period, but the only one I could find was 2017 was 756,000 people died in that period. And at this time, there's about 12,000 cases of COVID-19 involved in those deaths. But if anybody knows where to get the official figures daily or monthly from the USA, I would please share the link with me. But don't bother looking on the CDC, because I don't think they're accurate. And they may even be hiding it because they'd rather show it 3 years later when everybody's forgotten about it. But the UK has just happened to be showing it literally within days of the figures becoming live. The US deaths, though, are quite interesting, because I've got a list of all the causes of death in the USA, and heart deaths every year is 647,000. Influenza, flu deaths is 59,000, and coronavirus is 10,000, according to their figures. actually this was at April 5, 2020. So, on the scale of things, the number of people dying from coronavirus is very, very tiny compared to obviously heart deaths, but it's still tiny compared to influenza deaths. So why have we got a problem? We'll see. Anyway, the last word on COVID-19 is humorous advice and quite funny from the BBC. They are advising people not to believe anything on the internet and only get their information from the BBC. Or the World Health Organization, even funnier, because both of those are just mouthpieces for the pharma medical cartel. So this advice is going to keep me laughing for this whole holiday weekend. I hope you're all having a holiday weekend this weekend, if possible, and away from all the trauma of what's going on. Anyway, back to my day job. Every week I get lots of emails with questions about various conditions and feedback from the people who are on the plans. And almost every week I mention magnesium as part of the health plans. To be precise, it's almost impossible to get the amount of magnesium in the diet that was available just 60 years ago. In this period, magnesium is reduced in food by over 50%. That's right, 50%, half the magnesium. So you'd have to double your food intake to get the same magnesium that I was getting when I was a child, actually, in my food. But when you think about it, every time a crop is grown in a field and harvested, a percentage of the magnesium and other essential minerals is just taken away for that food. And eventually it has to give up. It's just logical that, you know what I mean? You've got a finite amount of minerals in that soil. And the deficiency includes organic food in the same way, because organic means no pesticides or other chemicals. It doesn't guarantee minerals content. And the only way we would ever know, because we know what it was 60 years ago, but nobody seems to be testing the food that comes from any given land. And obviously intensive farming has increased, and so many scientists now are saying that all farmland, if not already deficient, will be deficient within the next 20 years. In other words, we have to supplement. And so it's not optional supplementation. And one of the most critical minerals is magnesium, and that's what I'm talking about today. And its benefits for the immune system are well known to science. And in my previous newsletters, I've referred many times, if you were taken to an emergency room with a life-threatening condition, they would put you on a magnesium intravenous drip, the doctors. And they do that because it will save your life. It's so critical. They know that magnesium is likely deficient, because if you had a life-threatening condition, almost certain you were magnesium deficient. But increasingly, these drips have sodium bicarbonate, because they're just finding that sodium bicarbonate, or the penny cure as I call it, is just amazing for helping your health. And funny enough, recently I've just had 3 readers that asked for help with gout, one after the other. Just strange, but they did. Maybe it's the time of year though. So my solution for them was to take sodium bicarbonate in 6 glasses of water over the day, and ancient magnesium oil ultra massaged into their feet and legs. And within days, they all reported it was gone. That's how fast magnesium deficiency is resolved by applying it on the skin. And of course, since gout is an acidic problem in the feet, sodium bicarbonate is going to neutralize that acidification. So, what I want to talk about, though, particularly today, is magnesium benefits in immune function. And I've got 7 facts which I've pulled out from studies here, if you just bear with me. And so, even without COVID-19, poor health is reaching pandemic levels. And you know that. I've just told you that 700,000 people a year die from heart disease in the USA. Nearly as many die from lung disease and many other conditions. So it's just crazy. People don't die of old age generally, except for a very few, lucky few. Well, nobody's lucky dying, but you get my point on that. So we need to understand why our body requires magnesium to fight off attacks and keep our immune health strong. And even a slight lack can start to compromise health. But science shows that quickly raising magnesium may have a fast-acting impact on immunity, as it does when you have a magnesium intravenous in the emergency room. So number one, it decreases inflammation. Magnesium is closely related to our body's inflammatory response, as evidenced in several studies. Experienced magnesium deprivation for just 3 weeks can lead to a higher level of pro-inflammatory cytotones. So magnesium is an anti-inflammatory that can calm inflammation and encourage healing. And it explains why people report an almost instant effect with magnesium oil on pain problems. It ensures cellular turnover. Apoptosis, or the normal process of cell death needed for growth and development, is how the body eradicates virus, fungus, and cancer cells that invade our cells. The body gets them to commit suicide, but you need magnesium to clear those unhealthy cells out before they poison the body. And magnesium produces a higher number of antibodies for the process to have a greater need, ensuring a greater need for magnesium. Number three, improving breathing. Magnesium has antihistamine-like properties, so it can work as a bronchodilator to ease the airway inflammation, because that's a lot of people suffer from that. Asthma is an example. Magnesium is safe and beneficial to treat moderate to severe childhood asthma. And oil applied to the chest and to the back between the shoulder blade works well. Adding magnesium flakes to a refillable salt pipe and breathing deep into the lungs is also going to take it through the bronchial passage and deep into the lungs as well, because that will clear any fungus that's in there. And since magnesium plays a part in reducing the immune reactions, it supports bronchial health for almost every lung dysfunction. Number four, it protects the elderly. I'm 74. I don't want to join that club, but older adults may have already have compromised immunity as a result of low magnesium. Now, I don't know whether the older people have got low magnesium because they're older, or whether they've just got a deficiency because of the food they've been eating. It's difficult to tell. But magnesium levels are likely to be low, both because of diet and age-related uptake of magnesium. And high levels of magnesium support a healthy aging process, lessen immune dysfunction, inflammation, and the risk of chronic illnesses like heart disease, lung disease, and diabetes. Number five, it reduces immunosuppression from exercise. So anybody, whether it's a young person or an elderly person or an older person, doing intense exercise, it burns through your magnesium and other trace elements. And this can, as I said before, suppresses the immune system. So we need to supplement if we're doing intensive exercise. Need to supplement anyway, actually, but especially if you're going to be doing this. And just because you're apparently young and fit doesn't mean to say, because athletes really have to be, they take more care now, athletes. They didn't used to do, and they would train and train and train and train for a big event and then come down with an immune problem just before the event. So they're getting wise to such things. So supplementing magnesium can improve the immunity for all those at high activity levels. And increasing magnesium supports all the immune functions for these people. Number six, release toxins. Magnesium's role in facilitating hundreds of biochemical reactions in our body helps produce our cellular fuel, ATP. Now, ATP is produced in the cells with oxygen and sugar. And the ATP literally is the fuel that fuels the whole body regeneration taking place. We produce our own weight in ATP every single day, and it's burnt again. Boom, 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 all day long. So when our body gets enough magnesium, it's able to create the energy needed to enable healthy cells to flush out harmful toxins that can suppress immunity. So, 7, stop infection. Administering magnesium in a strenuous event like extended labour, that's a woman having a baby, has helped to reduce maternal fever. These are studies, done by doctors, and a fever can be a sign that the immune system is battling an infection. Again, probably because the pregnant mother was deficient in magnesium. But the nice thing is, it reduces complications in newborn babies, which can include cerebral palsy, seizures, and difficulty breathing. So it's really nice to know that they do give magnesium to mothers in a strenuous labour to reduce maternal fever. Well, they should do anyway. Not everybody does what they should do, of course, as you know in medicine. So, magnesium, the facts, those are the 7 studies that we have. We depend on magnesium for our nervous system, for heart health, blood sugar, glucose maintenance, balanced blood pressure, anxiety, sleep regulation. Sleep is one of my problems because I'm on the go all the time and I'm awake in the middle of the night. So that's why I put my magnesium on at night time to help me to stay relaxed and asleep. Muscle and bone integrity, and perhaps most critically, immune function. Magnesium deficiency disrupts our body's mineral balance over time. A seemingly straightforward lack can trigger a domino effect of health problems. So if a person's really low and they get one health problem, that can lead to the next, the next, the next, and they're all actually caused by low magnesium. And health benefits can quickly increase as magnesium levels rise, but specifically because of the effect on our immune system. Highly soluble magnesium oil ultra may boost the immune health in a matter of days from addition of organic sulfur. And so by putting the oil on around your body, lungs, back, around the body, it can start to boost the immune health in a matter of days. Eating the healthiest organic diet, while beneficial, isn't enough for on-the-spot immune health, especially during times of spreading illness. So supplementing magnesium is critical. It's not just for the flu season, it's for the rest of your life. Supplementing magnesium, there's not a way around it. You must get it in there. So magnesium oil is viewed by many, that's me, as the master magnesium compound due to its high potency and efficacy. It's a super absorbent form of magnesium that is applied transdermally. And using topical or transdermal magnesium at home has proven to be an excellent way to supplement. Magnesium that's been added to food by manufacturers or in tablets and powders has to go through the gastrointestinal tract, and only a small amounts, as little as 38% and as low as 4%, is absorbed. And talking about gout, if you had to take tablets to resolve your gout, it may never get there to the foot because you'll probably go crazy with the pain in your foot before you ever got it there. But with the magnesium oil, by just putting it on, it's gone within hours or certainly a day or so completely. And so addressing magnesium deficiency benefits the whole family. It's not just for elderly people, whether it's babies, in fact, pregnant women, adults, immunocompromised older people. Obviously babies, they would be bathed in magnesium. You put magnesium flakes or some oil into the water and they would bathe in it because it just literally will absorb straight into the skin. And the research is quite detailed, but magnesium and immune health are strongly related. So it's not a question of if you supplement with magnesium, it's how you supplement with magnesium. And studies supporting the above are available on request, as usual. The magnesium I recommend is the Magnesium Oil Ultra. And I'll repeat it again. That's got the MSM, which is organic sulfur. And MSM, or organic sulfur, has got many, many benefits on its own, just as a supplement. But the reason it's with the magnesium is it drives the magnesium deeper into the body much more quickly. It's just something that it does. And so it's really important to have the magnesium oil on adults. The magnesium flakes is for people in a bath, babies, children in a bath, even elderly people in a bath. It's wonderful. And it can be used in salt pipes to breathe it in deep into the bronchial passages, especially people with lung diseases. And that's it, folks. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're staying well. And it's a very, very difficult time, very confusing for everybody. It's confusing for me, but my confusion is that I know that it's all fake. They obviously, COVID-19 is not fake, but the way they're going about it is fake, and it's real. It's not as bad. All right, there are some people who are really sick, and those people should be isolated from the rest of the population. But the rest of us, we don't need to be under house arrest to protect us, because it's never going to happen, actually. And especially if we take care of ourselves properly with a proper diet, a low sugar, stop eating carbs, and get lots of vegetables, and get some supplementation of various immune supplements, we can all do well. So you take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.